Hi, I'm David. I'm 56 and I've got prostate cancer. And I just want to tell you about my journey and how I've got to where I am today. It's July the 20th and I'm on holiday and had a fantastic holiday. Back in March I decided to go and see the doctor. Not because I had any symptoms, but I was 55 and I thought I needed to go and get myself checked because there's been a lot in the press about prostate and thought it was just a wise thing to do. Felt perfectly fine, I'm relatively fit and keep myself in quite good shape. I don't drink, I don't smoke. And I had an examination and they found a bit of blood in the urine. He sent me for some more tests, and to cut a long story short, on June the 11th I went for the results and had my world turned upside down when I was told that unfortunately I had prostate cancer. I didn't really hear any more words that the nurse was telling me then, as I was taking on board what I've been told, and it was a massive shock. I don't feel ill, I didn't then, I don't now, but nevertheless I've got this thing called prostate cancer. So for a few days I didn't really know what to do. I thought I was going to die. I thought the word cancer meant I would die, and I couldn't really take it in. Luckily I've got a lot of support around me, and I spoke to a lot of people and I looked up a lot of things on the internet, and I had to be careful not to believe everything I read, and I didn't just read the things I wanted to believe. I didn't believe just the things I wanted to believe. I looked at it very objectively and thought, what's going to happen? I then had some appointments set up with surgeons and oncologists, and eventually it's come down to the fact that I'm going to have what they call a radical prostatectomy. I think it's called a radical prostatectomy, which is a removal of the prostate. And I've found the whole journey really, actually the language that's used is quite scary. Now for the clinicians it's actually everyday language, but actually when it's your own self it is quite scary. Firstly, the word cancer. Secondly, radical. That sounds pretty big. Yeah, it's a big operation, but actually it means that I'm going to get this thing out of me. And the great news is, having had some scans, both MRI and bone scans, it hasn't actually leaked anywhere else. And I think the reason for recording this and wanting to do this is to say it's okay. And in fact, I'm so pleased that I went and had my checkup, because if I hadn't, I don't feel ill. I'd have gone on for ages, not worrying about anything and just carrying on, until eventually I would have probably got some symptoms, and I would probably have found I've got a much worse journey ahead of me than the one I've got. So as I say, it's July the 20th. On September the 16th I'm going in to have the removal of the prostate, which will get the thing out of me, and it looks like that will be the end of that situation. Obviously it will be watched carefully afterwards. And as I say, I really just want to say, it's everybody's own personal journey, and everybody deals with these sort of things differently. For me it was utter shock, despair, and I didn't know what to do, and I was crying, and all those types of emotions, almost like you go through with a bereavement. Actually, why me? And I didn't know how to deal with it, and I was actually in denial for a little bit, because as I say, I don't feel ill. I didn't then, I don't now, and ironically the bizarre thing is I'm going to go into hospital and I'll probably come out feeling a little bit worse to start with than when I went in. But I know now that actually it's the best thing that could possibly happen for me. So really my message is, I guess, don't be a typical male, but be a man. Go and get tested if you haven't already, and if you have been and you've got it happening to you, it's a good job you've done and been and got it sorted and found out, because there is a solution to it. And I wish you well on your journey, and mine will carry on, and I'll probably update this as it goes on.